Hey guys, and welcome back to this episode of Arcane Assist with some more Steamroller 2017 CID. Now, this is still week 1 that we're testing here because we got a bunch of games done in the same day. So last week you saw John and Tim going at it. But this week is a little different. This scenario has 2 zones, each with objectives in them, and two rectangle zones, and then 2 circle zones on either side of those. But we're going to start with our lists. So my list is Reznik2. So Servath Reznik, Wrath of Ages, with his battle group of a Devout, 2 Reckoners, 2 Crusaders, a Guardian, and Scourge of Heresy, as well as a Hierophant, and 2 Vassals of Menoth, the Covenant, a Wrack, and 2 Squire of Menoths. Now, this is in the Creator's Might tier, so these jacks that I've taken give me a couple of free solos, as well as my upkeeps get to be out for free on turn 1, and my solos get Repo 3, which is really useful on all the support solos, because it also gives it to the choir, and it just lets them go do their thing, then get out of the way, and it really helps save up for some awkward situations. And Reznik really likes a strong battle group. I don't make any use out of Death March at all this game because I'm not spending focus to put it on the choir. Even though I get it for free the first turn, it's just not worth putting the token out. So that's my list. John, what are you playing?
This week I am bringing Sloan, one of my favorite casters in CYGNAR. I am bringing Heavy Metal with her. I find that Heavy Metal is awesome. It gives you 4 free units or free solos. I am using the Stormwall and 4 Hunters as her battle group. And I have a free Squire. I have a free Journeyman Warcaster with a Firefly attached. A free Strangewayes. A free Jakes. And with Jakes, I have a Hammersmith. I dropped a Hunter and Runewood for Jakes and a Hammersmith. So, pretty good trade. I really enjoy it. The plus 2 inches with Sloan is really needed, and it helps a lot when you're deploying. That's the list I brought. Get ready for the report.
So here we're going to move into the setting up of the terrain. We're playing the scenario Showdown. Standoff. Something like that. So John, walk us through how we're setting up the terrain here.
So setting up the terrain, this is called a cluster. You start in the middle by placing one piece of terrain, line of sight blocking, touching the middle point of the table. So you have a table in quadrants. And then each one has to be, the second one has to be within 6 of the centerpiece. So the second place is place a terrain piece within 6 of the center of the table and within 6 of the first piece placed. The third rule of this is place a terrain within 6 inches of both the first and second pieces. And then step 4 is repeat it until you have 5 pieces of terrain within the center point of the table within 6 inches. It's a little crazy when you're doing it because it takes some time. As you can see, Tim here is trying to make sure we're not within 6 of the table edge and we're not within anything else. So the remaining 3 pieces of the terrain that Tim's setting up is place them within 6 of each other, but not within 8 of any of the original pieces you put on the table.
Yeah, it makes it so that there's a lot of terrain near the middle of the board, but also some weird scatter terrain far away from that. So here we have, there's our deployment, as you see. So we have a lot of weird terrain near the bottom as well as a lot in the center. So here is, just want to make clear, during the process between deployment and setting up terrain, the objectives got shifted to the edge of the zones, and we didn't notice, and apparently throughout the game we didn't realize that that's not where the objectives were supposed to be, so we played them at the edge of the zones as opposed to in the center of the zones.
We played them as the same as a pit 2, and I think it was a mistake. We just the pit 2 has
we played them like that.
So unfortunately, as we set up in between setup and deployment, and they just got moved.
Yeah, so basically we're not used to these scenarios yet, so we didn't recognize that this was a mistake, but in the end, it didn't make a huge difference to the outcome of the game. So moving into my first turn, I run all my jacks up and put passes on them so that they can't be affected by non-magical guns, which is kind of an issue for John's list. However, he can still use Armory, his objective, to give magic weapons as well as shoot with Sloan. So I move up the rest of my Squire, move the book up in a position where he's not really going to take any damage anyway, because if he chooses to shoot him, I'm fine with him taking 1 point of damage from a hunter as opposed to a jack getting shot. Because the book isn't going to be a huge deal for me this game. I might use it to like give continuous fire for things, but other than that, the no spells aura is going to be difficult to affect. Sloan and Arlan, and I guess that's about it, because it doesn't really care for the Journeyman, because the Journeyman is just going to have Arcane Shield up the entire game. And no knockdown doesn't seem like a huge deal to me either. I guess there's the Hammersmith, but it's not a huge deal. So moving up the bottom, I have the other half of my battle group moving up. The Guardian is a piece of this list I really like because it provides another heavy for the list that threats a very long range with Boundless Charge and Reach, as well as being an arc node for the Flesh is Weak. The Flesh is Weak in this game is just going to be like, I need to scalpel out solos because he has no living or undead models that I can prevent from charging or trampling or slamming. But against normalists like any war beasts, really, it really makes it hard for them to threat you with specific pieces. And I believe that's just about my first turn, and we're passing it over to John.
Yeah, so I won the dice roll. I chose the far side. Chose him to go first so I can get some shots off. Start my first turn. With plus 2 inches, my hunters deploy basically in the middle of the rectangle zone. So I can like shoot basically anything within 22 inches of a hunter. So he has no magic up. I chose to take Sloan because I want to see how devastating or how unbalanced this matchup is into no magical shooting. The max ever, I'll have 3 models with magical shooting. That's my caster always has it. Strangewayes can give it out, and my armory can give it out now. So I need to keep my objective protected as long as I can, at least to shoot a couple turns. Maybe get through my feet turn. But I need to make sure I do my shooting early enough and fast enough to have an impact. So I decided first turn, I give no magical to the second hunter in the top 3. I give those 2 hunters closest to the armory and the middle one extra focus from Sloan. Strangewayes is going to walk up and give magical attacks to this hunter that is closest to the armory. So now I have 2 shots with hunters, magical, and Sloan. So Sloan's going to proceed. Sloan's going to walk up. He's going to do fire group, and she's going to shoot the jack in the top of the zone. Forget the name of the jack. It's
Scourge of Heresy.
Okay, that thing. I want to shoot that thing. Defense 10, defense 14 because Asheville.
No, defense 10.
Oh, defense 10. Okay, so I missed with Sloan. Doesn't matter. Sloan's camping 2 with fire group up. I got 2 hunters. They both can aim, basically. That's how far they are out.
Yeah, Scourge also doesn't have Ashen Veil, and even if he did, Ashen Veil is just concealment.
Okay, cool.
So basically, after the shots with the hunters, you've crippled his sword arm, which is really good for you this game, because otherwise, like, if you cast Arcane Shield on the Stormwall, it dies.
Yeah, so I'm shooting with the 1 hunter that's not magical against the book. I just want to put as much damage possible into whatever I can early on, because only warrior models can control the top zone.
You actually opt not to shoot the book here. You shoot a
I
choir member.
I shot a choir member because you have, what, 12 choir members?
I have 8 choir members and 7 warjacks I can affect with things.
So eventually, if I get enough choir members down, I can, no matter what, shoot something. So now this hunter moves over. He is going to boost a hit because he has a focus. He hits. He's going to boost damage. Dice off 4. I do a bit of damage. I rolled 14, so I do 10 to the 1. Really good start.
A bit.
Yeah, really good start, actually. The second hunter is going to move over closer. Stay outside of all threat ranges, which are 12 and 11. I boost to a hit. I hit, and I boost some damage again. Just try to just do what I can. And I do 6 more to the 1. So I take his lance out, which is...
you take the sword out.
Is it a sword? Okay, it's a sword. Like Evan said, the sword is really huge.
You also did, like, you did 11 damage in total?
The first time 11.
Sorry. You did a lot. He's not looking very healthy right now.
So Stormwall runs up 10. I ask Evan, Is threat range is
here
11?
I made a mistake. I thought the threat range on everything was 11. The Reckoners are actually 12.
So it was a mistake of both of us.
He moves out of range of the Scourge and into range of the Reckoner. However, even with that, like, a Reckoner's alone is only pound 19 with battle. I have Spell Piercer to bless myself, so it's dice even against the Stormwall, and only one Jack can get there, so it's not going to be a huge deal for him. So it's not great, because it also means that the 3 Warjacks on the bottom, if I decided to do that, would be vulnerable to all of the guns.
So this hunter got over 6, and there was a little line of sight I can see to this one
Vassal?
Vassal back in the back.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. I will hit him. I'll boost damage and kill him. It's pretty good because it gives you a liven and a power up.
Yep.
So I figured that it's one more focus your caster has to use. I know the hunter's probably dead next turn.
Yeah, because in order to get that hunter in range of the Vassal, you had to move within range of the Reckoner regardless.
The gun range. Because at this time I thought it was only 11.
No, even without
within
that,
11,
you
I'm
needed
sure.
to be within the charge
Yeah,
range.
so my Hammersmith moves up, towing the zone with Psychic. He threats 4 to 7, 8 inch, plus 2 is 10. He threats 10 with Energizer.
The Hammersmith? Yes.
Yeah. So he threatens the whole zone right now. I'm looking for people to come in, see what I can do. Arcane Shield went up on the Stormwall, and yeah, that's basically my end of my first turn. I did some damage to a Jack, and I feel like Sloan needs to shoot as much as she can before she loses her magical attack possibilities.
So here I'm like, okay, this Reckoner can kill the Hunter, and this is when I realize, wait, I'm an idiot. My threat range is 12, not 11. So I can get to that Hunter. Woo. I also I want to move up into basically set up for next turn, because nothing is really in my charge ranges, but next turn they will be. And I also want to make sure that I give the Stormwall only one Jack so that he comes in to try and take it, but doesn't kill multiple things in the same turn. Because I'm most likely going to need 2 Jacks in order to kill the Stormwall if I want to do it in one turn, which I probably need to. Otherwise, that Stormwall is going to take 2 of my Jacks, and I don't have as many heavies as I would need to be able to trade up like that. So here what's going to happen is I'm going to activate my Choir first. I'm going to put Passage on all of my Warjacks, and then I'm going to charge that Hunter with Boundless Charge after I move Reznik up and do some damage. I also remembered, because that large black dice in the back there is our turn counter, because we have to keep track of that. I'm also thinking, because basically my goal for this game is sit Reznik so that he's straddling the circle zone and the rectangle zone in the bottom left, so that I have something scoring that can score either zone, or both even if I'm lucky, the entire game. Because otherwise I have to use choir members and solos to score in the circle zone, and I don't want my Warjacks to be stuck on that rectangle the entire game, as much as the Devout's probably going to be there anyway. So still deciding where to start, because I'm terrified of that Stormwall, and I consider charging it, but I decide in the end, not worth my time to just give up a Reckoner for that. So Choir moves up. They do all their passage, and thankfully I can walk through this objective with my Repo 3, because rules. New rules. I love this rule, by the way. Being able to move through your objective makes it less of a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
to say the least.
He was just like, oh yeah, I want to Repo 3. I'm like, yeah, Pathfinder. He goes, oh yeah, incorporeal objectives. I'm like, oh shit, totally forgot about that.
Yeah, not even incorporeal. You can just walk through them. They don't block line of sight.
For you, they don't block line of sight, but for your opponents, they do.
Yeah, which is also a thing as to why they're not incorporeal.
Yeah, okay.
Because then your opponent could walk through them.
Okay, yeah.
And even if they were incorporeal, you wouldn't be able to draw a line of sight through them. But that's not the point. The point is, this Reckoner here is going to walk and shoot a thing
Yeah.
because he has a range 12 gun.
Defense 14, armor 15.
So he walks 2.5 inches through the forest, shoots a hunter. Because at this point, I just want to put damage in, and I don't want to go too far up because I don't want to lose pieces.
You hit.
I hit.
POW 14?
POW 12.
Okay, off 3.
Off 3. Does a good chunk of damage.
You take out his gun arm.
Yep.
That's pretty important, actually, because I need my hunters to be fully functional as long as possible and at least last to my feet turn, so whatever hunters I have left can kill whatever things.
So here I decided I had to make a choice because I had to contest that zone on my turn. Otherwise, John gets a free point on his turn. So I chose to put Scourge of Heresy in contesting. I could have put the book in, but I feel like putting something like Scourge in is a lot harder to kill, even though he needs at least 5 attacks to kill the book. But he can do that with just Stormwall guns or anything, really, because the Junior could even just go in and plink at it with his sword. Anyhow, I go with the second unit acquire. They all do their passage thing as well.
You run one of your jacks up behind that house, towing both zones?
Yes, the Guardian is towing both zones. This might have been a bit of overcommitting because now the Guardian, even though he's contesting that circle zone, the Reckoner would be in there anyway. And I think my thought process, that's a fun term, was the Reckoner is going to be in there. He's going to be contesting, but the Hammersmith's going to kill it. So I want another model in there that's still going to be contesting even when the Reckoner dies. I realized that I had moved my Guardian before arcing Boundless Charge through it, so I walk Reznik over and say Boundless Charge on the Reckoner, and then I repo him forward so that he's not in threat range of the Hammersmith, still in the rectangle zone, and still basically being a bully, because next turn he's going to just sit there, and due to a rule he has called Lamentations of the Suffering, as long as he has at least one focus on him, he can't be targeted, or it might be that non-magical range attacks automatically miss. It's either automatically miss or can't be targeted by. Checking War Room, non-magical range attacks targeting it automatically miss. So he's there now, and only 3 models on his side of the table are going to be able to shoot him, and the Devout's going to shield guard one of those. I also move my Crusaders up into such a position that next turn, if that Stormwall tries to take either Scourge of Heresy or the Reckoner, they die to 2 Crusaders. And now also the Reckoner down there charges and does some damage to this Hunter. Doesn't kill it, but cripples it a lot.
You leave 2 boxes left in its movement.
Yep. 2 boxes in its movement. So it's not going to be doing a whole lot. I'm just checking Lamentation range because I got to start with the game, start with it for free, and I upkept it this turn because I could. And here I'm deciding what to do with the book. I'm thinking, can I get anywhere where he's actually going to do work with his abilities? Answer's probably not, so I move him. You'll see me measure it in a moment here, but I move him 8 inches away from that circle zone so that if John kills Scourge of Heresy, I will still be able to put the book in the zone next turn. Because I don't want him scoring too many points.
So, going into this matchup, what were you expecting? Like, were you expecting me to drop Haley or, like, Striker 2? Because those were the lists I presented.
I didn't expect Sloan, to say the least.
Yeah, okay. Sloan,
So,
Sloan or Striker 2.
I mostly expected Striker 2.
Okay.
Because you out-threat me, you can do a ton of damage to heavies. But this turns out, because of the magical attacks you do have, and the threat ranges I don't have, still gives you 2 turns of shooting, which might just be enough to make this salvageable.
Yeah, I wanted
as you go into your turn.
I definitely wanted to test this list into Menoth, so it gives me another option if I really have to, of having that chance of killing stuff with range attacks with Sloan. I already have Striker 2. I know Haley 2 can play it, but like I want to know if Sloan can do it.
So this we're going to measure a lot of times this turn, because we want to get the Stormwall in such a position that he can engage the Crusaders, but also he has to avoid hitting the other point on this house.
Yeah, so there's a house. It's a tight fit. you'll see me come back to it throughout my turn several times because it's definitely the last thing I want to do. So we're measuring 8. I bumped the house a few times. We put it back how it was. So we're like, okay, is that 8? We're making sure. We made sure no matter what, I have 2 inches to this one jack. So I have that jack no matter what. So we knew that at the start of the turn. So if anything gets bumped or anything gets moved, we both agreed that I had that one model in my 2 inches if I charged. The line was good. We measured it over and over. Everything was good. So now I'm planning out my turn. This Reckoner in the bottom zone is a problem, but it does not score in this zone. Only warrior models can score in this zone. So it's not really a big a problem as I thought it would be. So I kind of just ignore it this turn.
So with a list of primarily warjacks, both of us have them, but what was your solution to only being able to score in certain zones with most of your list? Did you want to put solos down there? Did you want to just contest it for the entire game? What was your plan?
I was hoping my Stormwall could contest it a few times with a pod. I had Jake's and my Hammersmith down in the bottom zone, so hopefully that would last at least 2 or 3 rounds. And I was hoping to score in my turn first, which I'm going to because you have put in nothing, absolutely nothing in my zone. So, or in my, I guess it's not, is it even called my zone?
Yeah. Well, I guess the zone on your side of the
my
table.
zone on my side of the table. So I want to score in my zone no matter what. As long as I have a solo in it. Doesn't matter which solo I score.
Well, as long as you have either your Warjack or your Warcaster in that zone.
Oh, yeah, so it's War Beast. Yeah, sorry. So I score no matter what if I have a Warcaster or a Warjack in this zone. It's going to happen. I'm going to go up 1. Like, there's no reason for Sloan not to go up 1 this turn. The problem playing with scenario, you need to win by 6, which I find crazy. I could have easily went to 2 this turn. I could kill the Jack in the top zone. I thought of that too. And I'm like,
Yeah, I wholeheartedly expected you to kill Scourge of Heresy just because of the threat he presents even with one of his 2 arms crippled, because that arm that is crippled is the Purgation arm, so if you have an upkeep on you, it's still the same as it would normally be.
So my plan here is Firefly walks up to the hill, shoots a book. He leaps into one of the choir members, takes another choir member off. 2 down.
He also E-leaps into the objective.
Unfortunately,
does no damage.
That's not where I wanted it. But it works. And does 1 damage to the book.
And by E-leap, we mean lightning generator comments section.
Yeah. they understand. I have to take proxy out the base because I want to use another proxy here in a minute. 1 proxy on the table at a time. So, like, I'm trying to follow that rule. It just requires a lot because, like, when I come back,
it requires you to be a lot more mindful about what you're doing with proxy bases because beforehand you didn't have to be.
So here's my play. I think here's my play of the game.
I did not see this coming at all.
Hammersmith charges for 1. Hits, beats back for 1 inch.
Does a
POW 17.
ton of damage.
Dice off 3. No, dice off 2, right?
POW 17, it is dice off 2.
Dice off 2. Beat back again, hits, does another couple of points of damage. Slam attack. Hits, slams you
hits him
2 inches.
Another Crusader.
And on the angle I charged on, it pushes you close enough in between your model and the house.
So I must say, your master plan here was to, as you were about to say, you put the Crusader and the Guardian into the melee range of the Stormwall. But you put the Guardian to 1 box anyways, I'm not sure how much of a difference it made.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't think my Hammersmith would do so much damage to it, and it did. It just was like, okay, cool. You're both knocked down. You take an extra die because you hit a bigger model. So he's on 1 box.
Yes, he is on 1 whole box.
The cool thing here is my Hammersmith's contesting both zones.
Yes. I mean, not that it really mattered because the Hunter's already in the circle zone and the Stormwall's about to be in the rectangle zone.
But it's kind of neat.
Yeah, it is neat that you can straddle that line with any base size, because even at the point of the rectangle zone, you can put a small base into the other zone as well.
So I want to just mention that. Sorry, I have a Hunter that got magical attack this turn. Strangewayes gave another Hunter magical attack, and Sloan is feeding. So I have 2 Hunters and Sloan with magical attacks.
Yep. And what are they shooting?
They are shooting the Reckoner in the force.
Yep.
So Sloan takes first shot, aiming, because I am now, I can aim because of...
Crushes the damage roll.
Boost damage.
Does 10.
Hits again. Boost damage again. Dice off 7.
This one does less damage.
Dice off 7.
It's dice off 7.
So dice off 7, 4 dice. I still don't have refuge up myself. I still feel safe. I'm camping 1. I did pull from the Squire. I'm like, cool, Hunter's going to aim. Magical Hunter's going to aim. Hits. Dice off 4. Does 6 damage. Second shot hits because I'm aiming. Go to route 9 plus
Yep.
3. Dice off 4 does 6 more.
So this Reckoner is really hurting.
My third one with magical attacks. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do this. I've thought about this hunter. I'm like, wait a second, he doesn't have magical attacks, and his arm's out. I'm like, well, okay, I can't really do that. So I'm like, okay, I'll go back to this hunter. Magical attack hits, boost damage, dice off 4. 7 more. 7 to the 2, which kills it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots kills a jack.
And then double ones misses.
Double ones misses the guy in the zone. I'm like, okay, cool. So now I have a hunter left, the top zone, with two focus and a crippled arm.
And we're back to measuring this proximity to the Stormwall.
Yeah, because it's gone, it's down. I slammed someone in over. We measured it a few times due to the fact that I know for a fact we were originally in when that won. So something got bumped. So we talked about it for a bit, and Evan's like, yeah, no, we were in. Just make sure the angle's good. So we push it back as much as we can. We measure the 8. And after all said is done, Stormwall is on. Yeah. I can charge and have two jacks in his front arc.
Yeah. The thing was, like, I think when you slammed the Guardian, you bumped the Crusader back a bit, and that might have put you out of melee range with the Stormwall. But whatever. You were in your.
That's why I checked it right at the start of the turn, because this was my plan from the start. Try to kill 2 of your jacks early, shoot 1 jack off the table, take you down to 3 jacks, and see what you can do with a Stormwall in your face. As I scored a 1. Ooh, 1. It doesn't really seem so important getting that scenario lead because you need to win by 6.
Well, I think that actually makes it more important. Because it makes... So, here's the thing. It makes it less urgent, but those getting that small point lead early is less of a I'm winning on this and more of a later on this is going to come into play because I can get 1 or 2 points now, and if you don't start coming and trying to trail after that, you're going to be in trouble in a couple turns.
So
Meanwhile, with Steamroller 2016, it was more about denying your opponent from getting scenario points because one of these turns they're just going to win kind of out of the blue because they cleared a zone. Here the Stormwall killed the Crusader that was knocked down.
So I killed the Crusader that was knocked down. E-leaped and killed the other one.
Yep, E-leaped, killed the Guardian.
And then bought 2 attacks total and killed him, so I had 1 focus left.
Yep.
I forgot to pod again. Evan's nice enough to, remind me I need to pod after I move. So yeah, I threw a pod. I did not boost it because I figured I wouldn't boost it at the time, and I couldn't disrupt the 1 jack in front of me. Next up is a hunter. He moves up and shoots the book 2 more times. So the book is now at like 1 life or 2 life.
He has 3 because you
did
not shoot him the first.
He leaped and shot.
Right. Yes, he has a 2.
Yeah, he's at 2. I score 1 with my caster in my zone.
And that is
that's my turn. That's my feat turn. I took off 3 jacks. My feat turn.
Yes, as Sloan should. So here I'm in a weird situation now, because I didn't expect to lose the Guardian. You killed 4 heavies actually on your feat turn. You killed the Reckoner on top, the Guardian, and a Crusader. So 3 heavies.
3 heavies.
I can math.
Stormwall killed Hammersmith and Stormwall, and then I shot 1.
You shot 1. So I expected to lose 1 less heavy because I didn't expect to lose the Guardian, but I still have this Reckoner now, so I don't know what to do with it necessarily. So because I don't want to just spend my activation beating down this hunter in front of me. So I'm proxying out where Scourge of Heresy can get. He cannot make it to... He, doesn't get power up because he's out of Reznik's control here, because I thought he was going to be dead. So even if he walks, he can't make it to melee range of the Stormwall, so I guess he's going to be hitting a Firefly this turn. The Crusader that's going to go in on the Stormwall needs to get 2 focus this turn, so he's going to get 1 from Reznik and 1 from Empower from a Vassal. And the Reckoner in the bottom zone, I'm, as you can see with this proxy base, going to try to kill that hunter with Reznik so that the Reckoner can charge the hunter in the top zone that is right behind Jake's and hopefully I can kill Jake's, making the Hammersmith go inert, so it's no longer contesting the zones. And then I score 1 in the circle zone with my caster. I also have to cast Spell Piercer, so that I can get through the Arcane Shield on the Stormwall, so that this Crusader, with Battle and Empower, so 3 focus, can do some damage to it at dice +1, because it goes to POW 20, ignoring the Arcane Shield. That's what it's called. Ignoring Arcane Shield, with 4 dice +1 attacks and 1 dice -3 attack. I don't expect him to kill it. I'm just hoping he does a hearty amount of damage. That means he lives next turn, and so that he can kill it the turn following, hopefully, meaning that the Stormwall doesn't cripple his mace. Because all I need is Cortex and mace, and that Stormwall is dead. I also just want to get the Devout into a position for him to be relevant for shield guards. I don't think Spell Barrier is ever going to come at this game for my caster. I also believe I drop Lamentation this turn. No, I keep it up this turn because I think I'm going to charge and have Sloan in my control area. So, going in with Reznik, it finally happens after a lot of discussion of things happening. Impact attack, getting the Hammersmith and the Hunter. I hit the Hunter.
You missed the Hammersmith?
I missed the Hammersmith, hit the Hunter.
And kill it.
Roll too many dice the first time I roll damage because I thought 1 was a location dice. Still kill it with the impact on the proper amount of damage dice. Redirecting my charge attack, because you can do that, into the Hammersmith. Doesn't do a whole lot. I pull 1 off the rack. Do some math. Yeah. Because I forgot to Harmonious Exaltation first. So this Boundless Charge that was going to leave me on 1 focus wouldn't. So I pull 1 off the rack, so I remembered to do that, and I believe after this I'm left on 1 focus, Boundless Charging the Reckoner so he can get to that Hunter and Jake's. I also curse Jake's with Reznik's Curse Battlegroup so that the Reckoner will have +2 to hit her, and I reposted that I'm straddling both zones. So the hope is that after this activation with the Reckoner, who is full up on focus, that I'm going to be able to go and make that Hammersmith under. That was the Hierophant charging the Storm Pod and failing to break armor on it because I wanted to clear this zone. So instead, later, I assume, the Devout's going to do it. The 2 choir members left, battle both jacks, and the Crusader walks up, doesn't charge, and starts beating on this Stormwall. So when all is said and done, I take out a half and a bit.
18 boxes I was left on.
Of the Stormwall.
18 boxes. You did average.
Yeah, it was all right. So that's that. Once dice roll.
Rolling the dice.
Unfortunately, in the bottoms, below the forest in the bottom zone, I left the choir members out of range to battle the Reckoner, or passage even. So he's going to be both vulnerable to guns next turn and won't do as much damage to the Hunter or Jakes. So they're just going to run into the zone. So they're more contesting and controlling on circle zone models.
You walked over to touch the Firefly. You tickled him.
Yep, he just stabbed.
5 damage to the left arm.
Yeah, misses the sword. Dice even with the mace. The Covenant runs because I feel like they're going to be more relevant in the middle of the zone, blocking lanes to Reznik from the Stormwall, because I don't want him to just blow a Crusader off the table and then charge me.
You also have this Jack that's going to walk up, so you have a shield guard still?
Yes, the Devout is going to do this thing.
Walk up, kill the pod.
Kill the pod. Auto kills it because he's POW 16 with battle, or 15 with battle, which is still auto killing. And the Covenant will run, and then I'm gonna run the choir into the zone, and that's basically where we're at.
So on this turn, how did you feel? Because you didn't think
not great.
You didn't think last turn you were gonna lose 3 jacks, and you happened to lose 3 jacks.
Yeah. So I was hoping that I could, with Scourge of Heresy and my bond with him, kill a model, walk him forward a bit, then walk him forward again on his activation, do more damage to the Stormwall, couldn't do that. And I was hoping that he would just be able to walk into the Stormwall, couldn't do that, because even though Reznik went and charged and killed the Hunter, Scourge was nowhere near his control area at that point, and he has to be within it in order for the ability to work. But here goes the Reckoner.
This is pretty crucial, because I could have actually ran Jake's a little farther, but I wanted him to just be behind the house for any guns.
Yeah, this is the most important activation of this turn, because the Reckoner not only is killing 2 models, potentially. He's contesting this zone.
Yeah, he's in my zone now, so I can't score easy points.
Buy boost to hit on Jake's.
Defense 13 because of curse now, not 15.
Yeah, well, you're still defense 15. I just get
Okay,
plus 2
defense 15.
But I hit...
I reduce it.
You can reduce it.
Yeah.
I have, but basically, I need to roll a 9 to kill you.
Yeah.
And I do.
Yeah, you rolled a hard 9.
And then I make another attack on the Hunter, doing some
So
amount of
now the
damage.
Hammersmith is inert and does not contest that circle zone in the bottom.
Yeah, this is where the Hammersmith lives now. Because Sloan isn't going to come reactivating it.
No, it's not anytime soon.
And he can run while inert?
No.
Or, sorry, no, Warbeast can run while inert. Or while wild.
Nothing.
Jack is
They
lived
just
there.
sit there.
He's stuck there now.
He's broken.
So, John, what's your plan now?
Well, you're just kind of you're still deciding what you want to do with your squad members. But
Well,
on my
they're
turn,
running.
after you killed Jack's. You killed Jake's.
I did kill Jax too, right?
Yeah. I did kill Jack. So my 100 you charge your Rector has 2 boxes left in his movement. I also have a hunter in the top zone that has no gun, and I have 100 fully functional. So I'm down to 3 hunters. 1 that's functional.
Yeah.
And 1 which is not going to get repaired ever because he has 2 boxes, and the other one has no gun.
Boxes.
So,
what is your priority? What do you want to accomplish?
This turn, I want to score top zone. Plain and simple. I want to score top zone. Go to 2. I want my pod to contest the bottom zone, and that Reckoner that's in the bottom zone, I want to jam you with a hunter. You can have the hunter, and then you can do what you want from there. Because technically, you can't score until you kill that objective. So I'm like, okay. My Stormwall has 1 side out. What do I do? So I'm like, I need to score. I need to kill that Jack in the top zone. My Fireflies are at command, so it doesn't get any focus. So my Firefly technically cannot do that. So at this point, I'm thinking about, like, Firefly takes a free strike.
Yeah, because the Firefly is on the junior, not on Sloan.
Correct. So I'm like, do I take a free strike? And then I'm like, how do I position my Stormwall to kill 2 Jacks this turn? And I'm like, because his left side is out. So if I just turn to face Evan, the Stormwall, that means his bad arm is facing the Jack, the good Jack, like the fully functional Jack.
Yeah, you do a whole 180 with the Stormwall.
Yeah, I have to to basically turn him around, and it's going to be it's tricky. It's going to be really awkward.
Because you also want to get in range of Scourge just to be there,
just in case,
and you also need to stay within 1 inch of the Crusader.
Yeah. So it's a lot of thinking at the start of the turn here, and usually I throw a lot of proxy bases down, and I usually measure shit out. But I'm trying to avoid using as much as I can. So the tape measure comes around now a lot, which I never used to use tape measure so much.
So the score here currently, because I scored at the end of my turn.
It's 1-1,
and he scored at the end of his turn the prior. It's 1-1.
It's 1-1, and it's a bottom of 3. Bottom of 3. 1-1, bottom of 3. So we're like, cool, what do I do here? I loaded up some hunters with Sloan. I loaded up Stormwall with Sloan. Strangewayes went up and repaired the 1 hunter. Because you do not have no magical shooting up this turn.
Yes. So I didn't passage because I cast battle. Firefly takes a free strike.
You hit with the bad arm.
Good arm.
No, bad arm, because you only supposed to roll 1 dice.
No, good arm. I used my good arm for the free strike because I wasn't gonna roll 1 dice.
Oh yeah, sorry. I mean, you're less. Okay, whatever. Yeah,
you mean the arm that isn't broken that is worse than the arm that would have been better if it weren't broken.
If you followed that, yes, exactly what I meant. Didn't do anything, just took his gun out, which really isn't a big issue right now. So now Now I have hunters that can shoot. Hunters boost hit, boost damage.
This is Sloan. That was a weapon master gun.
Yeah, that was Sloan that hit. She cast
Shooting
refuge,
Scourge.
refuge on herself, shot Scourge, and refuge over
Yeah.
camp in 0.
You specifically didn't want the Scourge of Heresy engaged here, so that I didn't get the defense bonus, and
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that just crippled my
I took
movement.
your movement out.
So now you just don't have that issue at all.
So now my next plan is I'm debating if I want to activate hunters or my Stormwall. If I activate hunters, they shoot and kill that guy, and they can't do anything else if they kill it. Like they're stuck there. So I need to move my Stormwall. So my Stormwall does a complete 180, staying within 1 inch of him and 2 inches of your Scourge. I drop a pie this time. I'm hoping for the 8s I need. Armor 17, armor 19. Hoping for 10s.
Yeah,
Don't hit it.
You don't.
I could have boosted it, but I figured I shouldn't boost it because I kind of want to cripple him with my attacks. I might have to boost damage or boost a hit.
And also, we realize you could have just put it in the zone because that's the not stupid thing.
Yeah,
to
so
do.
I went in the zone.
So you do the not stupid thing instead.
Yeah, so my bat arm hits the guy that's with 1 arm, 1 dice, and then it's dice even. Dice plus 1.
Yeah, you do 6 damage.
I do 6 damage. I rolled a 5.
And now you go to try and maul this Crusader. You do dice. It's dice plus 1 because you're power 20.
Yep, dice plus
You
1.
do 10 damage with your first attack.
E leaps into the book.
E leaps into the book. Yes,
Yep.
does 1 damage to the book.
Second attack misses.
Misses.
Cool. Third attack. No. This is hits. E leaps into the book. Kills. Does 5 damage. So I missed 2 attacks with my Stormwall.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Missed 2 attacks.
So the Crusader lives.
He should be dead. Or he should be one more damage at least.
32 boxes, and you get 4
4
attacks
attacks.
at dice plus 1 is 8, 16, 24, 32 damage. So
Should be dead.
I mean,
On average, should be dead. But I missed 2. On average, I shouldn't miss 2, but dice is dice. So now my hunters go up, try to kill this guy that's in the zone. First hunter hits, boost damage.
so I kind of want to go back to that for a second. He shouldn't be dead. It's just it's a 50-50 shot
Yeah,
if
okay.
he dies,
Sure.
which isn't a should be.
So my first hunter doesn't kill you, leaves you on like 2 boxes. Second hunter goes up, hits, boost damage,
Sorry, what's the hunter shooting?
and
Oh, yeah,
Scourge.
Scourge was still there.
So I actually took 2
I couldn't
hunters.
see him because of the
Took
legs.
2 hunters to do 6 damage. Okay,
The
cool.
Stormwall legs, because his
So I
torso
killed-
is in the pile of widgets.
I pass a turn. I just jam this hunter down here. I go to 2. You go to 1.
So this turn, I spend far too much time thinking about what I should do. So Crusader should probably get full focus because he needs to kill that Stormwall. Because if he doesn't kill that Stormwall, bad things happen to everything else. I want to get rid of that Firefly somehow. I don't know how to do that because he's past 3 inches into the forest. I have the idea of with the Devout, I can charge the Stormwall in the back, then use my remaining focus to buy attacks on the Firefly. It's dice off 3, and he's taken 10 damage from the free strike made by Scourge of Heresy. It's not bad odds. I also have the Reckoner in the top zone that has to deal with a Hunter, and I debate a couple things here because I'm feeling really like my state of mind in the game while I was playing this. I'm feeling very down right now. I am behind on Jax. I'm losing the attrition game because this Stormwall exists here. I have to deal. I'm in a horrible position with Reznik because I'm stuck behind this road wall of an inert Jack. And I see that Sloan is on 0 focus in her zone. And if I can deal with this Hunter somehow, I can walk the Reckoner forward 5 inches and shoot her with a fully boosted Condemner Cannon shot. And if I roll a 16 on damage, she dies. So that's what I'm thinking right now. Is just go for this stupid BS assassination and hope it works. And halfway through the turn, I think I changed that plan. So right now, Reznik, I'm still trying to figure out just what focus I want to hand out. Because I also get the idea of maybe I can kill the Stormwall that only has 18 boxes left with the Devout, because Devout with Battle goes from 13 to 15. It's dice off 4. A charge attack is going to do 6 damage. Then I can, with full focus...
Still have Arcane Shield on it, so you still need to either do Spell
I need to cast
Piercer.
Spell Piercer, which is fine. Because I'm taking that into
which
account.
means
I have to cast Spell Piercer.
It means your caster activates first now.
He was doing that anyway.
Okay.
Because he also has to cast Boundless Charge. Because the other part of that plan is I cast Boundless Charge and get to the Firefly. But oh wait, I can't see the Firefly because further than 3 inches into the forest.
He's not even touching the forest. He's on the
so
far
I
other
start
side.
out with the choir. They go. They battle some stuff. They repo out of the way.
They do their typical battle.
And the end of this, I've allocated 2 to the Crusader, 1 to the Devout, 2 to the Reckoner, and I've kept 3 because I dropped Lamentation. The Vassal goes up, empowers the Crusader, so he's at 3. I go up, I Harmonious Exaltation because I'm like, I forgot that last turn and I felt like an idiot, so I'm not going to do it this turn. So I've done that. This choir goes up, battles that Reckoner because regardless of whether or not he goes after Sloan, he's going to be hitting something. And
why not have more power when you do it?
Why not do that? So they also repo back further into the zone because I don't want them just getting picked off by Sloan or Hunters or whatever that crap you have gun-wise on your side of the table.
I have 2 Hunters and a Crippled Hunter and a Stormwall. And Sloan.
So I'm still trying to figure this out because now I'm past allocation, but I'm still considering that whole line of play where I Boundless Charge this Devout and he charges the Stormwall in the back. And like maybe I kill a Firefly. The issue is with this, Reznik's still stuck where he is, but I also want to kill that Hunter, but I can't do both because if I have to kill that Hunter, I can't Boundless Charge this guy because I have to cast the Flesh is Weak at him and hope to hit and boost to hit.
And you also have to kill that stupid pod contesting.
And I also have to kill that stupid pod contesting, which I'm fine with because Reznik's not going anywhere either way.
Just the order of activations.
It just makes order of activations miserable. So, what happens? Reznik activates, shuffles a bit. Actually, did I even move him there? No, I didn't. I said curse on that Hunter, and I boost to hit the Flesh is Weak at him. I take 1 off the rack, it explodes. Woo. And then I do the boosted to hit Flesh is Weak, needing a 9 to hit because he's engaged and still has his movement, but also I've cursed him, so I'm a 9, he's an 18. So I need a 9 to hit, and then dice off 2 needs a 4 to kill. Here's where I kind of made a mistake, because I killed the pod without moving Reznik first. As we slightly shift the table back to where it should be. I killed the pod without moving Reznik, which means the Devout is not in my line of sight. So I can't cast Boundless Charge on him, even if I want to.
Charge the Firefly now.
So I realize that's not a line of play I can even take. So I'm gonna go for the original plan. Flesh is Weak. This Hunter, kill it. Use the Reckoner to go kill something else.
Okay.
So it costs 2. I debate rolling the hard 9 and just keeping some. I roll an 8, a boosted 8. It deviates to nowhere in particular. Doesn't do any damage to anyone. Reznik's now sitting here with his dick in the wind.
You have 2.
I have 2,
Do it again.
but I have to cast Spell Piercer.
Okay.
So I cast Spell Piercer, and I repo 3 further away, because now I'm empty, so non-magical guns can shoot me, and I'm terrified of that, because I'm only a 13-18 stat line, and that's not great.
And
Crusader goes in.
Yeah.
Dice plus 1. Crushes the first damage roll, does 11 damage.
Yeah.
I'm
down
okay.
to like 7 boxes.
Hits, does 6 damage with the second
Down to
attack.
1.
Down to 1 box, hits, kills. I have 1 focus left over, and I'm not particularly happy about that because I was really committed to doing stuff this turn, and I could have really used the extra focus, but I couldn't have seen that coming anyway. And now I'm like, wait, the Devout has 2 focus that he can't use anything for. So I really overcommitted my focus spending this turn and spent a lot of time doing this. Like, I started this turn with 20 minutes. I have less than 8 left. I think 7.
I think you're around 18 minutes when you start your turn.
I was at 20.
Were you at 20?
Yeah.
So yeah, now you're behind.
So I'm really far behind. But now the Reckoner is going to go. I don't decide to go shoot Sloan because I can't because this Hunter's in the way. So I walk into its back arc, taking a free strike because its arm's broken, and it is probably not going to do damage.
Power 12.
Doesn't do damage.
Double ones.
I use my initial attack to kill the hunter. It hits and kills it. And then I buy 3 attacks into the objective, all at dice +1. And the Reckoner has 1 focus left over at the end of its turn. Again, overcommitting focus-wise, while my caster is camping on none. Not happy.
Very dangerous. Sloan and both hunters are in range of your caster.
Yeah. I decide to, with the Devout, just hit this Hammersmith. Why not? It's in
It's
the
just a
way.
roadblock
It's
the
just
whole
in
game.
the way. I don't kill it because it has a ton of armor and a ton of boxes, but I do some damage and the Devout's there now. I score 2 points this turn
go to
from
3?
the bottom zone and the right zone. Oh, sorry, and a third point from the
You're at 4.
Second point from the objective, 1 in the zone because you're contesting with a hunter. I do not score the right hand zone.
No, because my hunter on the hill is contesting.
So I go from 3 points. Sorry, 2
3.
points to 3 because I also scored on
And
your
I go to 3.
No, I didn't score on your turn.
No.
You contested with a pot.
And I
So
go to 3.
I'm at 3. We're both at 3. That's the scenario objective or scenario
It gets crazy.
thing.
It gets crazy. Like scenarios get crazy. Here we go.
So,
My turn.
what is your plan this turn, John?
I have
You
21
an-
minutes.
You have a beat on my caster, and you're really up on clock.
I could easily go for the assassination. Have 3 attacks on your assassination, but you have 1 shield guard. I feel like 3 attacks do not kill you.
2 attacks. Because if I'm shield guarding 1, then you have 2
Yeah,
attacks.
so I
on the
have 3
caster.
total and 2 hits your caster. You probably shield guard the hunter one or the hunter or Sloan.
So Sloan is 4 dice
Power
off
12.
6, or the hunter, which is 3 dice off 3. That's let's just do math. So dice off 3 with a hunter boosted hunter
before
shot.
this is huge. The Firefly has no arms, no gun arm. He walks up, shoots the objective, hits with double ones, rolls 3 E-leaps. E-leaps off of the Vassal into 2 choir members and kills both those choir members that were in the zone.
Also, it does no damage to the objective and doesn't kill the Vassal. Leaves the Vassal on 1 box.
But it kills a guy in the zones. Now I have
Now you just have to kill the objective and a Crusader.
in the zone, which Crusader's possible. The objective, like less models better, and I feel like less choir members the better. So the math on
So the math on the assassination there is the hunter does 7 damage. Sloan with 4 dice would roll a 14 dice off 6 does 8 damage. So I probably shield guard the Sloan shot.
and you take dice off 3 twice,
Yes, I'd take 14 damage.
which leaves you on
4.
There you go.
Sorry, 6.
Okay, so
20
yeah,
bucks,
I don't think the assassination was worth it or even worth a chance. So I went for the attrition play to try to score in scenarios
So this hunter starts unloading on a Crusader.
on this Crusader in your zone.
Yep.
Does quite a bit of damage. Junior now walks up because your movement's out. Junior walks to both zones.
Yep, straddles both zones.
So he replaces the hunter because I want to live my hunter as long as possible now. He hits. He boosts damage. Power 12. Does nothing. But he's in both zones. I thought about Arcane Shield something. I was like, whatever. I'll just camp 2. Squire runs. Not engaging. I'm outside 2.
Outside of 2, another contesting model.
Yep.
Important.
Strangewayes Sloan walks up with refuge. I'm at 8. I need anything but to hit. I thought about boosting. I decided not to. I hit. I boost damage about 12. Dice off 7.
I don't even look at the card.
Because you were on like 4 boxes.
I think I had like 10 boxes left.
So I refuge to
But
the
you
far
rolled
side.
so high, I was
So I
just like, not even.
So I refuge to the far side to make sure I was outside 10 of the kill box. Because there's a kill box from all sides of the zones. Like you can kill box yourself inside a zone.
Yep.
So I made sure I was
I'm
outside.
cool with it.
I was outside. I made sure. Now I'm making sure my hunter is outside of all threat ranges of his Devout in the bottom of my zone. We're kind of like playing side to side right now. Yeah, Reckoner. We're playing side to side here. So like zones are all over the place.
We've completely changed where we are. Like, we're playing the game sideways. It's
I'm measuring
it's really weird.
13 or 12 because that's your threat range. I shoot 14. I hit. I boost damage. Try to do as much as I can. Dice off 4. I do 7 to the 3. Cool. Starting there. I think I take out your gun.
On what?
Oh no, 7 to the 3.
You don't take out anything on the Reckoner.
Not this turn. No. I take. Eventually, a lot of shooting happens. Next hunter. No, Strangewayes. So I'm thinking Strangewayes. I'm like, Junior's still alive. What's the chance of Junior surviving this turn? Might be good. I'm going to put Strangewayes near the Firefly so he can give him a power-up next turn. Give him a focus.
So here we both score 1 point. So we're both at 4.
4-4. And we go to turn 5.
So I immediately look at the board and say Strangewayes has to die because I have 7 minutes left, and my goal at this point is keep tying scenario until the turn 7 happens, because game ends at turn 7. Kill Strangewayes, because once Strangewayes is dead, the only thing on the table that can shoot me is Sloan, and I'm going to keep my Devout nice and tight because I can shield guard that one shot, so I'm never going to die. So the Reckoner walks up. I give him a focus. He gets battled from the choir. This Devout, I'm just checking to see if he can go charge a hunter, but I realize the frickin' Hammersmith's in the way, so I can't go and kill him anyway because this stupid roadblock is here. So I just go with the Reckoner because I'm little time to spare. As you can see, the clock just ticking down.
3 minutes, walks around a Squire, make sure you're not engaged. You
boost
shoot,
to hit.
He hit, arm 16, boost hit. You
Crushes
destroy
Arlan.
Yeah, I did not see that coming. I was shocked.
There is one gun that can shoot Reznik now. Reznik, who wants to do work to try and start clearing that zone on the top. I move solos around. One of them harmoniously exaltates Reznik because it's a Hierophant and can do that. I move the Devout in such a way that the forest is blocking line of sight to most of his guns, as well as he's behind the objective but can shield guard shots from it, so that he's less likely to kill my objective and get another point from that.
Your caster uses a spell and just destroys a Squire.
Flesh is weak. The Squire, full boosting it. We're here. I can't kill that Junior this turn, and I'm super sad about that. I could have shot him with the Reckoner instead and scored an additional point, but I didn't. No.
We both go to 6.
Yeah. So, yeah, we both score 2 points.
No. I score 1, you score 1. Because
Yes.
my Junior is contesting my bottom of my zone,
Yeah.
and you're just in the circle
So we both
zone.
go to 6.
We're both at 6 points now. Wow, what to do here? I'm at 12 points, 12 minutes left.
Yeah, because, the turn prior we went to 5, not 4.
Yeah, so I'm debating with Firefly where to go. He doesn't have an arm, but Junior's still alive, which is kind of cool. He decides to shoot the objective, hoping for 3 leaps, and gets 1 into this guy.
Into the Devout.
Does 4 points, something like that.
Some damage.
It can't hurt the objective. I'm just hoping to clear as much as I can with the E-leaps. Unfortunately, I didn't get the promising good E-leaps. All good. I'm like, cool. Let's check your threat range with your jack. Let's move back. Let's move to my 14-inch shooting range.
Yeah, you move out of charge range of the Reckoner, and then
I shoot. I boost.
Blink.
I boost a hit. Dice off 4.
Does 3 damage.
3 damage.
Reckoner
Next
number
one.
2
Walks around.
also shoots the
The
Reckoner.
hunter walks
hunter,
outside 14 or outside 12. Shoots 14. Boost a hit. Why not? Because always give him a focus now. Hits. Boost damage. Dice off 4. Cranks the damage this time. 665. That's quite a bit.
I think that was 115.
Was that 115? Okay, sorry, 115. Still
I
does
know
pretty
there's a
good.
glare, but
Still does pretty good.
the Reckoner is mostly fine right now.
I think you lost an arm in this.
Yeah.
You lost your shooting arm.
I lost the mace arm.
You lost your mace.
You
Boost the hit.
Sloan, crush the damage, do 12, and
Do
just
12 and
remove it from
takes
the
him
table.
off. I think you're at 10 boxes after both hunters.
Yep.
So Hunter shot you 2 turns in a row, and Sloan shot you once, and that's where you ended up. So it took a bit to kill him, but now you're down to 0 heavies, and I feel like, okay, cool. A refuge. I'm trying to figure out where to refuge. A refuge there, and no one scores. You score 1, I score 1.
Yep.
So 7-7.
I'm panicking at this point because I have a minute 30 left. So I go right into it. Reznik doesn't need anything. Devout gets, I give 1 to the Devout. I think maybe even 2, just because I'm gonna charge through my objective and murder the crap out of the Firefly. Maybe a mistake now that I'm watching this again, because Reznik goes full boosts. The flesh is weak at Junior, which actually makes the Firefly inert. So I probably should have just charged the Hunter here, but I didn't.
Hunter's out. Maybe, yeah.
Because I could have charged on an angle that
Maybe,
I get
maybe you
the
could see him.
Firefly. Yeah.
You couldn't see him through the force.
Yeah, I have to charge the Firefly, but I get the Hunter in my melee range, is the gist of that.
But you don't.
But I don't do that.
You go up 2.
Hindsight 2020. I go up to
8.
2 points. You get 1.
8-7.
So it's 8-7. Here's where I'm like, I have 16 seconds left on my clock. So next turn, I just need to kill a thing that's contesting, slap the clock over because it's turn 7, and then I win. Because this is the bottom of your 6. So, and the only thing that can run to contest is that other hunter who has to contest more than one scenario element, which in his current position can't. So my plan was, in 16 seconds, kill whatever contests Reznik, and then win on scenario at the end of turn at the bottom.
And my turn.
Your turn 7.
So I have another hunter.
Well, no, because you're leaving the other scenario element that I'm scoring in.
Okay.
Because if that hunter leaves that zone, I score in that zone because there's a Devout there. Unless
no, you're right.
Unless Sloan kills it, but then I'm also scoring in the bottom zone.
Yep.
So I'm up on points. So unless you score like extra points this turn, I'm gonna win on scenario or clock out, depending on how you look at it. So I have to. John has to contest with this hunter.
So I contest. I score. He runs.
Yes. Also important, this hunter scores on his turn because Reznik is not a contesting model, and squares are scored by
So
War
I'm
Jets.
scoring 2 this turn. He's scoring 1. So we're tying this up.
So yes, this is the turn it ties up.
I turn around. I shoot the Devout.
The hunter shoots the Devout, and I believe Sloan does.
Oh yeah, everyone's shooting you. Like you're just going to get perished. Here we go. Hits, boost damage. Armor's what?
Armor is 16 with a shield is 18, so 10.
8 to 10.
Does a crap ton of damage.
Sloan just stays there. Hits, boost damage. Why not? And POW 12.
Leaves him on like 2 boxes.
Two or 3 boxes.
Just crushes.
And it was outside of Dust to Dust. I was hoping to cast that.
Yeah.
I was outside 10, so I fret freed you a little closer this turn. So you're going to score 1. I'm going to score 2.
At this point, I'm pumped. I'm like ready to roll dice. Just gonna as soon as you flip that clock over.
So
I'm going.
we are tied at 9.
Yeah.
9-9.
So I shout, "Curse the hunter!" Roll dice. Flip it to your clock when you tell me the armor. We're calculating damage. Mark it and keep going. What happens is on my 3rd attack, I clock out. However, because this game is super intense,
leaves me on 4 boxes.
I
he
kill
clocks
you.
here before he rolls. He clocks.
clock before I roll.
Then he kills.
So we're gonna play it out just because this game was so intense anyway.
This game shows you the scenario, scenario.
So Reznik scoots a bit because of his thing. This Devout on the bottom has no Cortex, so he's gonna scoot up and hit this hunter. And
so on your turn, you're going to score 2 more.
Yes.
Take you from 9
I run
to 11.
So I run the entire choir unit into the other zone, just so because they're contesting models and Reznik isn't. I run the Hierophant back into the circle zone, and what I should have done but didn't was straddle the 2 zones with my Vassal because she contests the square zone.
It would be close. The corner's taken up by that.
Even if I just put her in the square zone, you'd be using an attack to kill her instead of the Hierophant.
So I got a little time to think about it now because we're playing this out.
Yeah.
It's just because I want to showcase what I can do. I got 100 and Sloan. That's it. You are at 30.
Okay, the scenario points at this point are dumb. I believe we're both at 11.
No, you're up.
Oh, sorry.
12,
I'm at 11.
12, 11.
I'm trying to... Hold on. Keep talking. I'm going to remember what happens.
You're up 12, 11. You're up 12, 11. So, my plan here, he's up 12, 11 in scenario. This is stupid. Bottom of 7, so this is the last turn no matter what. Right? So we already decided, like, we're playing this last turn up, see what I can do to do it.
It's 11-11. It's 11-11 right now. The issue that John has is I'm going to score 2 at the end of this turn. He's not going to score 2. He's going to score 1 because of Sloan unless he can kill both the objective
so 11,
and the Devout in order to make this happen.
So I give the hunter 1. I upkeep refuge.
Because I'm also scoring the bottom zone.
I upkeep refuge. So Sloan's on 5. I give 1 away, so Sloan's on the objective, does 8 damage to it. Hits, buys the attack, does nothing. The 4th dice was an accident. Nothing happened. I did nothing to the objective. So I've done 8 to it. It's on 7.
It's on 7 boxes. Sloan with Dust to Dust.
Sloan, I have to, with Sloan, cast Dust to Dust for 2, boost the damage, and hopefully I kill the objective, and then shoot the guy in the zone and refuge back to my zone. That is my game plan, and that was my game plan to win this. Because I need to score 3, or if I score 2, he scores 2, and then we go to tiebreakers, which is a pain in the ass to figure out. Because I can easily score 2 now.
So we'll get to tiebreakers, but you need a 15 to kill the objective. You roll it.
4. I killed the objective. Woo! Now Sloan takes her gunshot.
This is the easy part. She
Guy
just shoots
engaged.
the Devout.
Defense 9.
Because you ran into my back arc.
Yep, defense
Not
9.
engaged.
I hit with a 3.
You did it.
Because 9
Sorry.
goes to 12.
I am engaged, but my motor's
Movement's
out.
out.
So yeah,
I
it doesn't
boost
matter.
damage. I kill him. I refuge back to the zone. So currently scoring 1 for the top zone, 1 for the side zone where Evan's at, and 1 for the objective. I go to 14, and Evan goes to
13. So, at the end of 7, the score is 14-13. Now, it helps that we played it out because I spent a lot of my time, like there were turns I took more time thinking than I should have.
both of us, for
And
sure.
For both of us. So it not only that, had I done the thing I talked about where the vassal contests the zone, we go to 13-13, which means we go to tiebreakers.
First
The first
tiebreaker, Caster's alive.
is casters in play. The second tiebreaker is control points.
Well, 13-13.
Would have been 13-13. The third tiebreaker is model points that we have destroyed. So on the table, I had left a Vassal, a Hierophant, and the Choir. John had a Hunter. Now, this would normally be easy math to do, but it isn't because we have a ton of free points, and those count towards our kill points. So with my list, which is 113 points, including my 10 free points, I have 10 points left on the table. So John killed 103 points. John's
My list is 120 points with 4 free solos.
So he has a Hunter left, so that's 11 points. So I killed 109 points. So I would have won on tiebreakers.
109 points to 103. I've never seen a game come down like this. I guess we've never seen a scenario.
Well, I mean, you've never seen a game where the total control points scored was 27. So originally, I thought that when seeing the 2017 scenario packet and playing a game, I played a game last night before we did any recording. I played a game with Scorn, and no one scored a single scenario point, so I was like, cool, scenarios are dead. I was wrong.
I wouldn't say they're alive either.
Well, here's what I think. Here's my I've played 2 games and know all about Steamroller 2017
Whoa, you're
knowledge
fancy. I
now.
got 2 games now too.
Well, I'm just being that guy on the internet. And it's that you aren't playing scenario in order to get 6 ahead of your opponent. You're playing scenarios that when the bottom of 7 hits, you have more points than your opponent, and that's the tiebreaker you win on, because you're going to try to play either a list that contests really hard and plays attrition super heavy, or you're just going to play control casters like Thexus and Haley, who are going to push models out of zones, straddle zones to control 2 at once, and be super safe, and just win on having more control points than your opponent. So that's our second CID game with Steamroller 2017. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you learned a lot, and we hope that you gained a lot of knowledge that you can contribute to the CID forums and help change this process as well. And that's us for Arcane Assist. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. 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 See you next time.